Hello, welcome back. Last time I got to finally try the Sun Challenge and see what that was about. Today's going to be a little different. Everything that's going to happen here is pre-recorded, and there was some stuff in this game I was just working on my own, and finally I actually got somewhere with it. So this is footage from one of my runs where I was trying to get a super speedy Tiamat kill, because I've been challenged by Steam to have a victory within 10 minutes. And this was something that I would just do if I was sitting on my own and thinking, you know, I could play a little bit of Spelunky right now, even though it's not recording time. I guess I'm trying to bring these to Yang. Anyway, yeah, so just worked on refining my route, figuring out what I needed to do to play this quickly. And 10 minutes is kinda tight. Like, it's generous enough that I can do things like this, what I'm doing here, just in case he has anything good in his cache. Oh yeah, something kind of funny happens here, I remember. So these were all done yesterday in a big, long fever dream. This is one of 3 runs I'm going to be showing here. I'm looking forward to seeing what happened here because I barely know at this point. I decided to steal those turkeys for some reason. I think I saw, like, the perfect number of sacrifices for a Kapala there, and it just kind of worked out. The stomp to get Yang onto the altar was pure luck. The way I play these is extremely high risk. Like, I can do a lot of stuff during runs like this that are so low investment that I wouldn't normally do when I'm trying to actually be careful and make sure I don't die to stuff. And that's a lot of fun. I can see different parts of the game. Like, for example, you won't see it here today, but on one of these, when I was trying to do something, I happened to get a telepack in a shop, and I actually learned to use that thing, and it's kinda cool. I like it a lot. Oh yeah, there is a reason I'm bothering with the key here, because I'm taking the Volcano route and I want the Vlad Cape. It is a fantastic asset, worth getting even if I don't want to go to Sunken City. Just because it's so good. And money, useful to pick up, because I want to do a quick little run by of shops that have good stuff, and be able to get it. Curse Pot. Fun little challenge to just break it whenever I see it, pretty much. Unless I have specific business elsewhere. Why did I shoot that? I don't know why I shot that arrow, but for some reason I decided to shoot right there. Anyway, what did I get? Bomb box? That's nice. Yeah, so this is the stuff I've been doing on my own whenever I wanted to just play the game. Let's see, Quillback. If I want his goods, which I do, his fight takes a little bit of time. So yeah, Yang's crossbow here. Pretty good weapon. He needs to break the weight of Volcano. Yeah, Volcana, and he was not in the right place for it. I know Quillback better now than I did before. There's not that much to know about him. One thing I haven't quite been able to make perfectly consistent. Let's see, do I give up on this? No. I have a crossbow which should kill him pretty quick. So I decide to bother. One thing I haven't completely figured out about him is how specifically to make him roll without attacking him. Like, he sometimes does it. It seems like the most reliable way is to be sort of in front of him a certain distance away and above a little bit. Like, if I'm at his same level, he doesn't seem to do it as often. But anyway, still, little refinements to figure out. I do not have a Kapala here, so I guess I was mistaken about how many things I needed to sacrifice for that. But I did get a gift at least. And Kali likes me a decent amount. What am I doing right now? I don't know what my plan is. Did I just not see the way down? I'm probably looking around for an altar in case I want to take something to it. On a speed route, Kapala, you know, I don't take the time to fill it all that much, but it's still a pretty useful thing to have. Pet shop, do I need ropes? No, didn't even look in there. Would have taken that pot if it were in a more handy spot, but it was not. Drill machine. Hope it doesn't destroy anything too important. It revealed something. What might that be? This was a super lucky drill that had no lava in its path. So lava doesn't happen in its path as often as I thought it did. It seemed like it was just an always thing. Oh yeah, that's right, something about this crossbow. It's actually an extremely handy weapon for this route, because doing this, I don't have to bother with Van Horsing, and I get a super easy kill on Vlad. That trap had already gone, because yeah, silver arrows go right through his teleportation and just kill him right away. Same for the vampires. Oh yeah, apparently the telepack, when I'm using it, has the same property as the Crocman and Vlad, where like if I take a damage... Yeah, check it out, that chest totally had a bomb in it, and if I had opened it next to the curse pot without already planning to break it, I could have had a problem. Yeah, so telepack has the same property as Vlad and Crocman and probably some other enemies, where if I take damage while wearing it, instead of taking damage I teleport, which is super cool. And if I'm careful with my inputs, and am just very deliberate about teleporting, it can do some real great stuff. I went from absolutely hating that item to actually kind of really liking it. So I'll be happy to pick it up in the future, if I see it. Alright, Volcano done. Olmec. So yeah, speediest route I could think of was going to be Volcana and Tide Pool, because it takes a bit longer to access the temple from here. In theory, I could speed this up a little bit with my own bombs, but it's speedy enough that way that I didn't feel like bothering. Yeah, look at this. It's what, 22 seconds, 21 seconds? Nice and quick. Haven't looked at my overall time budget. I'd have to stick around on the level win screen for a bit longer. Again, 10 minutes? Kinda tight. Gotta move, but there's time to occasionally stop and do something if there's something worth doing. Let's see, why am I still hanging onto this crossbow? I think I'm planning to use it on Tiamat. So since I got poisoned, it's worth, again, stopping and doing something if there's something worth doing. Is this where I abandoned the crossbow? Probably. Poison much less of a concern in a speedrun because I'm moving so fast I get frequent access to pets and level boundaries to be able to cure the poison. I didn't even take a tick of damage from that. Just a little bit of annoyance slows me down. Like yeah, it cost me the most precious resource, time. Health is not so precious as long as I'm dodging well. And also, like, speedrunning, again, I've said it many times, this is by far the safest way to play the game. Just interacting with as little as possible. Like, the more things I try to mess with in a level, the more trouble I'm gonna have. If I just dodge everything, I don't get a lot of resources. My only power-up is Pitcher's Mitt, and I guess the Red Cape, if you'd count that. And a lot of bombs. But that's all I need. And yeah, skip the Yeti Cave entirely because I have the cool cape. Might as well. Yeah, there was a crate there. Don't worry about it. Don't need that. Yeah, mech crouches down to fire its plasma blast, but it was too close to a wall, and it blew itself up. I don't have a compass. That would have been a real handy thing to have here, so I know how to go down. But I made it work anyway. And honestly, this place is getting a lot less scary to me after seeing it so many times by now. It's still unpleasant at times when it wants to be, especially, again, if I'm interacting with large amounts of the level, but I got used to it. It's fine. Check it out. I baited out the trap and didn't have to take the laser. Again, yeah, playing extremely high risk here, but high risk leads to high reward, just very infrequently. Yeah, so this was the culmination of a long time of work. You know, for maybe like half of this LP now or more, I've been working on this, just like, when I want to play the game on my own, try for TM at speed, and eventually I would get it, I figured. Sounds of Revelry. By the way, during one of these runs somewhere that I won't end up showing, I did have a situation where I tried to play Tusk's dice game in the Tide Pool. Accidentally cheated at it by throwing the same die twice. She got angry, her dude got angry. It was the same as cheating in the normal dice game. I ended up killing both of them, and there were just no sounds of Revelry here. So if Tusk is dead... oh man, I took a spark damage. That's unfortunate. Still alive, though. If Tusk is dead, then her club just doesn't spawn. Is what I think I saw? I only saw it once and I wasn't extremely paying attention to it. I just sort of realized afterward, hey, there was no madams there, was there? So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And it makes sense. That was pretty slow. 49 seconds? Yeah, that's way slower than I aim for. But hey, check it out. It's Tiamat. 33 bombs should be enough. Yeah, right, and this is the run where I learn exactly how many bombs perfectly on her face that it takes to kill her. 1, 2. It's hard to get a good angle here. 3. The answer is 4. And at this point, I have no idea if I've gotten the time because I haven't been checking my my times on the level screens. Don't think I can skip this. I tried pressing buttons and it didn't skip, so we'll just watch the scene. By the way, at some point I should show my player stats. It keeps a win percentage. You want to ruin your life? Try actually caring about that number. Just like a way to feel bad about yourself if you don't get a Tiamat kill in a particular run. Fortunately, I don't care about the number, but maybe I'll show it someday just to see 0.0 something% or whatever. That I can skip. All my friends, except for one I haven't saved yet. There's still someone left somewhere, and I don't know where that is yet. I'll find them. $50,000. 9 minutes 41. Yeah, so that was pretty speedy. Could have been faster, but like I was not far from the 10-minute time. It's pretty tight. Law-abiding. King. First damage 1-4. Despite all odds, I defeated Tiamat and escaped to the surface. Cool. Alright, so that was speed. There were a couple of other runs I wanted to do. Okay. I cut that weird, but whatever. I guess that's just how it's going to be. So, after speed, I decided, well, let's try a no-money run. See how that would go. That was a super terrible, awful nightmare in Spelunky 1 that took me forever and was miserable, and I was dreading doing it here. It is extremely easy here. Like, this took like 5 tries total or something. It's just kind of hilarious how much easier this is in Spelunky 1. I'm not sure exactly why it's that much easier. Maybe just the specific things that I've practiced have, okay. I was not very careful about how I cut this video, apparently. Alright, well, we're just gonna roll with it. It's fine. I guess that wasn't the run. This must be it. Yeah, so, probably a little more than 5 tries total, but not that much more. This was by far the easiest of the 3 things I do today. Yeah, so stealing things, very useful. Pretty easy to do, kinda. Did I keep in, like, my entire set of attempts here? At some point we'll have the successful one. I'll be as surprised as you will, apparently. That's fine. You get a little taste of what I went through. Yeah, so, right, money. It's as straightforward as it sounds, just don't pick up any money. Hazard places. There aren't a whole lot of places on the ground where money hid from me when I was doing this. Tide Pool certainly has some foreground objects that could potentially hide money. I don't know what I'm doing with this turkey. Right, so I don't have to go fast. Well, he blew himself up. Apparently I really want that cape and the gun. Yeah, right, so shotgun is actually really useful during this. And yeah, without money I'm almost certainly going to be stealing stuff since, strictly speaking, I don't need power-ups, because as I found, Tiamat takes 4 bombs to kill and you start with 4 bombs. Always have to be thinking about endgame as I'm going through, even like early dwelling. Like, what resources do I need, since I'm not spending long here, to get where I need to be. The resources apparently I have here. Cape, gun, pitcher's mitt again. Okay. Yeah, those are in the way, but... Oh yeah, I guess one thing that's easier about Spelunky 2 is that I can interact with money with more than just my whip. Like, I can shoot that out of the way, if I want it out of the way there. Do I mess with this key? Oh, by the way... Oh yeah, there's something really weird here. Like, what is this cave opening? Oh, I see what it is. So, like, it's just one of those normal throughways, but, like, the back wooden wall didn't generate there for some reason. And it just looks like a cave opening. So that shopkeeper over in 1-2 died without my direct involvement. He shot his bombs and they blew him up. Therefore, that kill was credited to him, and I was not blamed for it. We'll see a little later in the video why I know so much about this now. But yeah, also the punch trap, the totem trap, bear trap, that's what those are called. There got the kill on the shopkeeper, so I was not blamed for that one. Meaning that when I go in here, I believe I feel forgiven. Yep. I also hear the beating of drums, but I don't talk about that. I'm thinking about forgiveness. Alright. So yeah, with a shotgun, Quillbacks, nice and quick and easy. Yeah, right, so this is a hazard spot here. He often mines a bunch of money out of the wall. He didn't do it this time. Okay, so I didn't have to jump over a bunch of little bits of gold and gems and stuff. Alright, that's fine. Right, yeah, I want to kill those, because picking them up would give me money. They are a hazard. It's an easy one to forget, because they don't look like normal money, but they are money. Thanks for squishing that ruby. My shot didn't shoot, I guess the block blocked it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's very similar to what I was doing with the speedrun there, just I don't have to go fast, and I have one extra thing to avoid that's just not that hard to avoid. It is entirely possible that I got ridiculously lucky on this and just got a mistaken impression of this, but like, even my failed runs felt like, oh, this is totally doable. It's just not that big a deal anymore. And achievement stats tell me only 1% of players have this achievement, so it's either not attempted all that often, or again, maybe I just got super lucky. But my impression is this is not that hard. I mean, so not that hard compared to just getting through the game with minimal resources. Like, that's the actual hard part. The money dodging, not nearly as big a deal as that. But I'm used to getting through with minimal resources with my speedrun practice. So a shop got angry at me. Alright, so I took the action of putting the Ujat Eye in the little slot there. He's climbing the chain. And, right, I wanted that robot facing left so I could interact with the altar without blowing it up. I took the action of putting the Ujat Eye in the slot. Therefore, any action the drill takes had its ownership assigned to me. He climbed into my feet and got hurt. Now, I'll be blamed for that if he dies from it, but if he doesn't die, then I don't get blamed. As long as, I guess probably at the end of the level, it doesn't tell me if I wait for my kills. If it doesn't list a shopkeeper as one of my kills, then I don't get the, I guess, crime lord status. There's some further testing I need to do on this, but this is my current mental model of it. It has seemed pretty accurate so far. Okay, got a little bit of a situation there, but I worked it out. I could have just put down the dog and whipped the gold bar off, but I found another way. It was a dice shop. One die got destroyed. Being careful of any coins he might have dropped down here. So yeah, one of the rare guns where I actually take the shotgun and use it for pretty much the whole thing. I don't think I end up using this on Tiamat. What do I exchange it for, though? What do I use on Tiamat? Maybe I do shotgun her? I don't know, again. This all happened in one day, and it was just sort of a fever dream of a day, and you haven't seen the full extent of it yet. We'll get there. Yeah, that gold bar is in a bad spot. So shoot to get rid of bones, and also the gold beetle, whatever they're called. And then I can whip the thing out of the way and have a safer jump. Like, I could just jump up there and be careful not to pick the thing up, but, you know, it's an object that immediately ends my run. So it's basically instant death when this is a requirement for winning. Or instant loss, at least, so it's worth being at least a little bit careful with it. Alright, so let's fight Vlad without a silver arrow. This'll be a little bit different. So he has telepack behavior. Oh, I just happened to teleport him into that wall. Okay. Yeah, like that's how he actually dies. He didn't take damage from that bullet. He just died because he teleported into a wall. And I'm so used to having Van Horsing, or, you know, well, yeah, Van Horsing specifically. Or that one time with the crossbow and the silver arrow in it, that I'm just not used to killing him otherwise. Guess I'm bleeding this dog? Sure, sounds reasonable. A way to turn a mountain to health. 9 health, that's pretty good. Probably don't need any more for the rest of the run. So again, high-risk play here. I realized I didn't have my Ujat eye anymore, so I couldn't see if there were any gems coming up in the column that I was descending in. So I started doing those jumps in case they got uncovered. Luckily enough, there weren't any there, but yeah, so that's one downside of the volcano route. I lose my Ujat eye, and if I don't have spectacles, I don't know if I'm going into gems there. I didn't really have a specific, hey, check it out, I'm forgiven again. So multiple forgiveness can indeed happen. As long as I don't kill shopkeepers, I guess. I don't know if forgiveness after killing is possible. Again, more further testing needed, I guess. This is weird generation. It's like, I guess this is the official way down, but it doesn't feel like one. Oops, I waited too long and they woke up. Fortunately, I had 9 health, so I can take a few hits there. And slowly be refilling as I do it, because their blood lands in my thing. Sure, might as well bother with the cat, there's no time pressure. So survival is first priority. Well, not picking up money is first priority. Survival is second, speed is a distant third. Just so I don't have to take too much of my own time. It was nice to have a chance to spend some time with a shotgun. Man, those Jiangxia assassins just jump up from, you know, 2 chunks below, crash into my feet at super speed, 3 chunks below maybe even, and propel me upward when I'm not expecting it. They're pretty annoying. One of the worst things in here. And they're also very numerous. Restless Dead, still don't know if that means anything more than this set piece in the middle of the level that seems to have nothing really special about it. There's probably some interaction here I haven't discovered yet. I'll get there eventually. There's the way to get down below the lava if you want it. I don't want it. Not right now. Don't have an Ankh, didn't bother. It would take too long. I could have gotten one. But I didn't bother. Didn't feel like I needed it. Also, right, so that, the speedy Tiamat run, showed that there was nothing in-game that acknowledged, my speed, so I was wondering if there would be anything in-game acknowledging my not picking up money. I mean, there's the one thing in my journal that you'll see at the end. It'll say I didn't care for money. But there wasn't any, like, Sparrow-style extra characters that showed up, at least that I saw. Still possible there was someone in a place I didn't look at. Whoa, that was close. Yeah, things exploding above. Showering gold down on my head or near it. I wonder if I noticed while I was playing how close I was to that little bit of gold. I probably did. But that looked too close for comfort. Neo Babylon. Bonk. Don't have spike shoes. Can't kill those with my feet. Actually, I think even with spike shoes I still can't. Oh boy. Elevator hell here. That guy glitched right through that somehow. And then got squished. Yeah, see? Elevator hell. Bad place. With bad things in it. Let's see, the vault there gives me a clue as to what the critical path is, so I'm pretty sure I'm on it by riding this elevator down. So I saw the thing taking damage. I was curious how that worked. I guess 3 shots was enough to kill the armor, and then the dude was killed by the armor explosion. Yeah, so explosions. Explosions can blow money right into my pocket, so I need to be careful with them, but you know, if you move through here without interacting with much, and at a reasonable, decent pace like this, well, at least the way this generated today, there weren't all that many explosions to worry about. I wasn't sure what to do here. This is a weird situation. Like, what is this? He's not interacting with me. I think I end up just bombing there and running away in case it blows money into my pockets. It didn't. So he lowered and let me through. That worked, I guess. It felt weird, though. 15 bombs left. Plenty. More than I need. I don't know what's down here. I'm just taking a risk going down this shaft because it feels like it might lead to the exit. Turns out it did, pretty directly. There was a shop. Didn't look at what was in it. Didn't need to be stealing at this point. Damn it! Let's see, do I perhaps shoot her? I think I might. Let's see how this goes. I barely remember this happening. Whoa, danger. Yeah, so I'm watching carefully for her scream because it has a surprisingly large radius on it. Okay, yeah, shotgun gives you a nice quick Tiamat kill. I haven't actually killed her all that many times. I need to do it more in practice because I don't have her entirely dialed in with like all the different item sets I can get. So my achievement thing wasn't popping up at this point. I was worried I had gotten money and not realized it somewhere. So I'm going to watch closely and see what happens here. So yeah, like, see how much not a problem that was? It's fine. It's totally doable. My friends are in a different formation. All 3 pets are lined up. Zero! I did it. 12 minutes 23. Not super far off from that 10-minute mark. And of course you get the 100,000 from the big thing, but that doesn't count. Petty Criminal. King didn't care for money. I took my first damage in 4-1. Despite all odds, I defeated Tiamat and escaped to the surface. Cool! Alright, so that was speed. That was no money. Let's try one more. So another thing that's acknowledged in the journal. There's Quillback music here right now, which is an artifact of having restarted from 1-4 with an instant restart. So I can pick up money, but I can't kill anything now. This is where my day kinda went off the rails a little bit. So speedrun is, you know, medium difficulty. It's pretty hard, but once you get it, you get it. Getting no money once the speedrun is done is pretty easy. This is significantly harder. So sometimes I linger on this screen to make sure I get defeated to 0. I learned many mechanics this game has for determining ownership of damaging abilities and things. So obviously if I whip something directly, that counts as a kill for me. If I was trying to time that spider to jump over me, I guess I got impatient with the bat there and didn't. I had to recalibrate to actually pick up money again, because when I first started doing this, I was like, wait, what am I dodging? Not money, just kills. Cape is real handy, stops me from stomping on things. Spike shoes are something I actively do not want. Let's see. If I step in front of an arrow trap, and it's aiming at me but it hits something else, that counts as my kill. However, say it hits a caveman who had 3 health and brings him down to 1, and then that caveman dies from something else unrelated, then I do not get blamed for the kill and break my pacifism. If a pet is in my hands and he takes damage from an arrow trap aimed at me, then I'm blamed for that kill. Not sure the full extent of those mechanics, but yeah, so can't kill Quillback and get his stuff. He could die from bone blocks breaking and dropping skulls in his head if I brought him down to 1 health and just let that happen. I don't have to prevent tragedy from happening to anybody. The arrow trap was aiming at the spider there, so that was fine. I didn't kill the horned lizard with my stomp, so that was fine. You can still do a lot of violence here. You just can't directly kill. And, oh, I didn't take him. Weird. So this is the one run type. Okay, if I stepped on the shaky platform, it dropped on that robot's head. I'm pretty sure that would count as my kill on the robot. This is the one run type other than that tunnel digging challenge where I really want hired hands. Because they're allowed to make as many kills as they want. They don't count as my kills. If I cause violence to happen around me, it's fine. I just can't do it myself. So yeah, this was where I learned a lot of the mechanics around... this is useful for the rest of the game in, like, determining what will help shopkeepers forgive me quicker. Getting to know better what constitutes a kill on them and what doesn't. Oh, bats, by the way, are the literal worst thing. Every single bat is essentially a little mini-ghost, kinda. Because they love to fly up into my feet and just die from that. And, you know, they're very aggressive. They just interpolate toward my position constantly. So they're just the worst thing to dodge. Dwelling is definitely by far the hardest zone for Pacifist. Like, as soon as I get out of the dwelling, it's a huge relief. The entire rest of the game is way easier than anything in there. So yeah, most runs ended in 1-1, 1-2, or 1-3. 1-4 is a little bit of a relief because it's very predictable. In case I decided I didn't want that compass. Preferred my 9 bombs. But yeah, 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3 are the hardest parts of that run. Which is kinda nice because it front loads the difficulty, but also kinda not nice because it just means I mostly see the dwelling when I'm trying to do this. I lost track of how long it was that I spent on this. It was kind of a long time. Much longer than I would have liked. And again, this was still in the same day as when I did the speed and no money runs. I also need to be careful with this rock dog. I don't think there's too much I can be blamed for if I'm just riding it and it takes damage. An arrow trap aimed at me, I'm sure, would count as a kill in it. But yeah, so you can get kills on pets, you can get kills on mounts, etc. I tested after doing this, and bringing Olmec all the way down to the lava does not count as a kill on Olmec. So I could have gotten the Ankh. The thing is, though, it's not my life that's really in danger here, it's everyone else's. Like, I don't need the Ankh. It's just not really relevant for this. I mean, there could be places where I die by accident here, but, you know, that's like a 1 in 50 thing, where 49 out of 50 are just somebody dying and being blamed on me. Alright, let's get a hired hand. So this guy can perform violence for me, and I don't get blamed for it. Like, for example, in those Yangsha there. I guess I just avoid them because he's gotten himself stuck up there, but he'll come in handy in future levels, probably. That knocked me off my mount. I guess the rock dog got blinded, but I'm not using its eyes to see. I'm using my own, so it didn't affect me. So I have a hired hand now, and for once, that's a good thing. Yeah, the Yangsha assassin here, they're kind of the worst thing. They're so numerous, and like bats, they tend to fly up into the bottom of my feet and die and blame me for it. Hired hands are not great at killing things without taking damage. Like, they usually trade 1 hit on them for 1 hit on an enemy. That one managed to kill the Yangsha without trouble, which is uncharacteristic. I left before he could engage that Pangxia in combat. Didn't want him to fight that because he would definitely lose. Checking for kills. 0. None credited to me. Go do something. Yeah, he just jumped into it and took a hit. I was hoping he'd do something better. Eventually he did. But yeah, traded one of his hits for one of theirs. And he loves to collect money. I wanted him to deal with this octopi. Eventually I convinced him to. He dealt with it by dying, but he attracted its attention away so I could pass. Now this guy just needs to go away. This looks like a nightmare. Oh yeah, this is horrible. So Rock Dog gets poisoned. What the heck do I do here? Can I just sit there and don't know? What do I end up doing here? This looks like a terrible mess. I get poisoned. Okay, so 3 of those seemed to die by touching me. It didn't look like it happened by me stomping on them, so I was really unsure about that one. Right, so like if I'm thrown by, say, a Yeti or something, or a shopkeeper, and I land on something's head and that dies, it's the Yeti or shopkeeper's kill, not mine. So defeated 0. I got away with that somehow. I'm poisoned though, so I really need a pet. That's a hired hand. I didn't buy him, I guess, but I got climbing gloves, so that's handy. I'm just kind of hoping the pet is not in the Yeti cave. So I'm going to go down. Yeah, I took a damage from it. And lucky for me, there's a hamster right down here by the exit. Super handy. Exactly what I needed. He'll take my poison. Only took 1 damage total from it. And I think it gave me, like, being hit by the Pangxia's bubbles gave me invincibility, which put me in a status that let me kill the Jiangsha without being blamed for it, or something? It's confusing how that happened, but it did happen somehow. So yeah, unfamiliar territory here. Like, the deeper in I get, the fewer times I've seen this on the route that I'm trying not to kill anything. So I'm not really sure how it's gonna look. Usually I just play Neo Babylon the same way no matter how I'm doing anything. Just move through quickly, interact with nothing, and just get out of this terrible place. I'm slowly getting used to it more from exposure, but it's still kind of unpleasant. I don't like to spend time here, so I don't. Defeated 0, still good. Now, I do have to check every level individually because that's not cumulative. I won't know if I defeated something on a level where I didn't check if I was unsure. So yeah, at this point, there's this icky element of uncertainty here where, like, this run could already be dead if I accidentally killed something and didn't realize and didn't check. So yeah, that's another thing that makes this pretty unpleasant. So here's that weird thing that's happening where, like, green UFO beams are reflecting upward. I think, like, a UFO is shooting down at some All-Mites, and, I guess I'm deciding I want this jetpack? And then it's reflecting off one of their helmets and coming back up is, I think, what's going on there. Yeah, we actually see it happen directly right there. So proof that that's what that is. Guess I abandoned the jetpack and decided to leave with my cape, and it was good enough. And yeah, things that are not blamed on me, destroying shop terrain, are not blamed on me. It's not a problem. Skeletons, another bad thing. Right, assume every pile of bones will be a skeleton and just never ever touch bones during this run. They were one of my most frequently accidentally killed enemies. Because they just sort of lie there in the ground and are something I can sometimes walk through. Sometimes there's a situation where, like, I just have to take a hit. Like, a spider will be against the ceiling in a one-tall passage and I just have to walk through it and get bitten by a spider. Spark flung the All-Might into me, flinging me into the bodyguard. Therefore, bodyguard didn't get angry at me because I did not own the source of the damage. Right, all the All-Mights dealt with. Thanks, Sparks. I don't usually like you, but in this situation I did. Speaking of situations, look at where this hamster is. No wonder he needs rescue. Yeah, a lot of sparks here. They can be useful, but they can also, like, super get in the way. Right, and I was trying to go when the elevator was up because there was a laser trap pointed there. So, Tiamat. It's at this point I realize I haven't fought Tiamat on this route before. This was my first time getting to her pacifistly, and I don't know all the details of what it's going to take to kill her on this route. She summons a bunch of things that I'd really like not to happen. I also technically don't even know if... Oh, and I only had 9 bombs coming in here. That's not enough. I mean, it technically is if I nail her with all of them, but I'm doing a bad job of that. So yeah, my worry is all those dudes. Like, she summons extra dudes, especially the UFOs, which my bombs could contact, and I'd be blamed for it. Yeah, so resources aren't great. Confidence is pretty low here. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out best way to approach this. I know I need to nail her with 4 bombs perfectly. It's just so hard to get a good angle. Like, if I'm close, she starts summoning red beams that bring monsters, and, like, throwing at an angle off a rope is not comfortable because I'm in motion when I do it. So there's a component of timing, in addition to the component of timing of what the bomb fuse is. See, paste doesn't solve this problem either, because when bombs stick to her face and she screams, they go away. She screams them right off. So that wasn't my kill. Somebody else killed that UFO. I think it was one of her summons. There's a bat here, just the worst thing, and I don't know what to do about it. I guess I was waiting for an opportunity where it looked like I could throw a bomb without hitting anybody else in her area. Just gotta get away from all the things that want to be killed by me. Now there's a mosquito, and like, yeah, every time I get close to her, it brings more run-ending hazards my way. That mosquito's still down there, by the way. There it is. Now there's an octopi. 6 bombs left. I think I've nailed her like once in the face with one, maybe twice. That's... I'm not sure if that hit. I couldn't see if the explosion was perfectly overlapped. That definitely didn't. At the very least, it dealt her the 1 damage of the bomb itself being thrown. I don't think that hit, but it's hard to tell. Now there's a bee. So at this point, I think I start using the UFO beam to clean things up. So like it could shoot the bee from there. I guess I didn't do it there. This is a process. TM, it's complicated. I'm thinking it might be worth for this run, like, actually bringing a shotgun, an implement of violence I generally would not want here, just specifically for this one fight only. Thanks, UFO, for killing in my stead. This is so not in the spirit of pacifism. This is very, you know, letter of the law, extremely not its spirit. I want to see what happens if that red hits the All Might. It goes in the water. Cool. Yeah, I missed. I'm throwing too early. It's still hard to time bombs, especially when I have to do like this much platforming to get to where I need to be for throwing. Okay, that nailed her perfectly. So that's, I think, 2 good hits and a few bombs that flew by and just kind of did the 1 damage with them. I think I'm worried about this All Might getting hit by my bomb and being flung into something and killing it. So yeah, I got a bad situation here, and it's getting worse. Pacifist Tiamat is kind of a thing. And now I'm poisoned. And now I got bitten, so I'm about to die. So I got like one last little chance to do something good here. I think I blew it. Yep, okay. So yeah, 2 out of 3 runs worked that time. This time, it did not. I was a pacifist, though, so I kept my status all the way up to the fight with Tiamat. I was also vegan. Makes sense. Didn't kill Quillback, didn't kill any turkeys. I was law-abiding, I liked pets. Anyway, yeah, so that was my best attempt at that. Actually, well, first attempt reaching Tiamat. So maybe I can refine that and get an actual proper pacifist run at some point. But I'm pretty happy with that. I guess that's as much footage as I had. Alright, I'll see you next time for some normal play, hopefully.